Jahmyr Gibbs went absolutely ballistic in week 12 against the New York Giants. He had 219 yards and 3 touchdowns. James, before we get into this and who are the best running backs in the NFL nowadays, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok as well, as we are always dropping new sports content. James, after Jahmyr Gibbs did what he did this week, I had to think about who are the true top running backs in the league right now. You got guys like Jonathan Taylor and Jahmyr Gibbs having amazing seasons. Bijan Robinson does special things with the football. And then, of course, Christian McCaffrey, the known Swiss Army knife. There's so much talent at the running back position in today's NFL. James, who you got as the best running back in the NFL?
Yikes, man. I know it's very tough. Like, you go down that list and it's like, man, why didn't you say Saquon after 2,000 yards last year? Well, this year has not been the same. Even guys like Derrick Henry, who have just been solid, consistent running backs. But it seems like these older running backs are now finally not aging out and ruining the position. But I will say, for Jahmyr Gibbs to be top 10 in rushing and he splits carries with a guy named David Montgomery, I find that very electric. Heck, there's even other guys that I would have over this. But if I had to go, this is how I'm ranking them right now. I'm going JT number one easily. I'm going easily. Yeah, just easily because if I look at a totality, Jonathan Taylor rushing and receiving has more yards than Jahmyr. I'll say Jahmyr is number two, but he's the most electric player. I think he's the most electric player, like hands down, most electric player. But after that, Spence, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna chalk it up to Bijan. Give me Rico, and then give me Devon Achane. Top 5 right now. Like,
I love getting Rico Dowdle in there.
yeah, and heck, imagine what he'd have done if he'd started week like 1 out of this whole joint. But no, those right now are my top 5 running backs. Just, what they're bringing value to their team. You can see, like I said, Jonathan Taylor, I think, is MVP. It shows in the MGM books, Sport Vet books, and all that. Rico, who wasn't the starter in week 1, but since then is just out blew everyone out of the water. And then, of course, I'm going to give Devon Achane just some credit just because the Miami situation is such a dumpster fire here and there. I know they've been picking up some steam lately, but I really like what I've seen from Devon Achane just as a running back. He's number 3 in the league with rushing yards. Yeah, this year it feels so weird because if you'd asked me this last year, we're probably saying like Saquon, Derrick Henry.
Bijan would have been in the conversation.
Yeah, Bijan and JT, but like without like Saquon and Derrick Henry. And I know it just feels so weird because even like I like guys like Josh Jacobs, who is 15th in rushing right now. And so I got to give my hats off to guys, even, and I won't put him in the top 5, even guys like J.K. Dobbins, who we feel like has been in the league so long, has been hurt through injuries, to be top 10 in rushing for a team that could potentially go to the Super Bowl is quite spectacular.
Yeah, one name we didn't throw in, you didn't mention there, James Cook. I also want to throw him in that conversation as well. I think he has emerged as one of the best running backs in football. I really like the Rico Dowdle inclusion, but for me, I'm going to give you my top 2. I have a definitive top 2. I won't say it's easily JT number 1 like you did, but I definitely have JT, Jonathan Taylor, best running back in football. The way he moves between the tackles, the way he has breakaway speed, can break tackles. That's what I like out of my running back. I like guys that it's hard to bring them down. They force missed tackles a lot, and that's Jonathan Taylor's entire game. But the reason why I think the gap's closer is because you mentioned his receiving yards. While he does have a good statistical total of receiving yards, those are mostly from like little screens and dump offs. He doesn't, which is not taking anything away from him, get the ball to him and just let him work. But what I will dock him some points are from what I will say this guy has over him, Christian McCaffrey's, who I have number 2. Christian McCaffrey, you can put in the slot. You can make him run routes.
Oh, yeah.
You can send him on wheel routes to the end zone and throw lob passes, and he'll make a jump ball. I like that kind of diverse skill set from my running back in today's age where running the ball isn't as prominent as it was in the 90s and 2000s, of course. I love having a guy that can make things happen like that in the receiving game as a receiver. So for me, it's Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey. And then I put Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson together in that next year underneath them. Then I'll put Devon Achane and Josh Jacobs together, and then I'll probably take the field from there. I do like James Cook a lot, like we talked about, but there is a ton of talent at running back. There's some guys we mentioned that I think they're in bad situations, but talent-wise, they have it all there. How about Breece Hall in New York? I think he is one of the most pure talented running backs in the entire NFL. He's just obviously wasting away on a putrid Jets franchise. Right. Other guys that you could throw in that conversation, you mentioned J.K. Dobbins. He was having a great year before he went down this year. Travis Etienne's kind of had a little bit of a resurgence this year. I wouldn't say he's anywhere in the top 10, but all this to say is running back play this year has been so much fun to watch. It's really, really good because it wasn't that long ago that these guys were fighting simply to get recognition and to get paid. I don't think that's going to be a problem going forward. These guys are earning money for themselves and for the next generation of running backs to come after them.
And and I'll say this. With your list, I don't hate it. I think my only pushback with Christian McCaffrey, we say all-purpose player. Yeah, I'm putting Christian McCaffrey over some of these folks. But the only reason why I don't have Christian up there this year is even though he has 700 yards rushing, the average is 3.7 yards a carry. So that's the only reason why. But like you said, all-purpose yard, I'm gonna put Christian, Jahmyr, and Bijan 1, 2, 3 if we did all purpose. But solely JT's definitely been the running back. It's been fun watching some of these running backs. I wish my guy Saquon would be stepping the F up right now, but we'll see what happens when it comes to playoffs. I will say another name we didn't speak of that has, like I said, you mentioned we're usually the usuals, but we got Rico who's 4th in rushing. We got Javonte Williams 5th. And then JK at 8. And then we didn't even talk Kyron Williams. He's number 9 in the NFL in rushing. And, it's great to see that position finally like flourish and blossom. Like you mentioned, it would seem like, bro, if a running back got paid like $8 million a year, it was, bro, you was getting scammed like a Ponzi scheme, it seemed like. But man, it's fun. I mean, heck, matter of fact, it didn't work well for me this week in fantasy, but my guy DeAndre Swift, 16th in the NFL in rushing. Come on, give me some
I will
love.
not let that Jags name be uttered in the conversation for best running backs in the NFL. That is, stats are not matching what you actually see with your eyes. But
can we say top 20?
I mean, maybe see top 20 for DeAndre Swift. I might be okay with that. But y'all let us know in the comments, who is the best running back in the NFL in today's game, and who is someone that's up and coming that will take over the top spot in the future years, perhaps an Ashton Genty, perhaps a Travion Henderson. Y'all let us know in the comments.